We welcome Mr. Qasim to Afro-Asia MHM Summit 2020-21. It is a great honor to have you on board with us, sir. Mr. Qasim has around 8 years of experience ranging from recruiting, HR operations, HR shared services, corporate communications, employer branding, training and diversity and inclusion. He's out and open about his sexual orientation and has been working in the D&I space since past 3.5 years. His aim is to create awareness around inclusion, equity and belonging at workplace as well as in the society. He also facilitates training around LGBTQ plus sensitization, people with special needs, and women leadership. He's personally a career coach. He has mentored more than 500 people and he's also a mental health advocate and LGBTQ plus right activist. So, sir, as you believe in creating awareness about equity, equality, inclusion, and belonging, I have a few questions related to gender and menstruation. So, my first question to you is what are the viewpoints of general men towards menstruation and towards a girl who is having her periods?
Yeah, so most of the men are ignorant about menstruation, and if we talk about the behavior of men and the larger society towards women is not very favorable, and sometimes it is a little disrespectful towards women during their menstrual cycles. I sometimes feel that it is a little injustice towards the women because their biological attributes are different than the male or attributes. So I really feel that it is not correct to kind of make that judgment for a woman when they menstruate, right? There are various labels and taboos that a woman go through during this phase. Women sometimes are not allowed to enter kitchen, and they're not allowed to cook food because the food that is cooked by a woman during menstruation is considered to be impure. They're not allowed to enter religious places because they're considered as impure. It is really, really unfair to see such practices being followed even in 21st century, right? In the earlier days, most of the stories that I've heard back by my grandmother, that during the menstrual time, women were given rest, and they were not allowed to cook or to not go out of the house was because they used to face a lot of difficulties during their periods. But in today's world, everything has changed, the meaning of rest has changed into a very different, society altogether. I also was very astonished when I saw when the society was literally improving and companies were coming up with menstrual leave policies, and I saw a revolt in India, and I was so unhappy, and people started talking about its discrimination between male and female. And my answer to this is, of course it is discrimination, because a male body is definitely different than a female body. A female body goes through menstruation.
So, thank you for sharing your views. Sir, so moving on to the next question, it is a topic which is a bit sensitive and not a lot of people talk about it. So, my question to you is that some transgender and gender non conforming people who menstruate feel alienated as all the period products are categorized as women's products and they even avoid purchasing them altogether. So, how to deal with this and normalize periods and buying period products for these people?
So basically, the feeling of alienation is not really a very good feeling. I personally feel that we need to make them feel comfortable for who they are, right? And for this, we need to educate people. people need to be a little more mindful and really need to kind of educate themselves that it's not only cis women who basically go and buy sanitary pads. It's also about transgender women transform themselves from male to female, or people who are non-binary or intersex, they also go through menstrual cycle, and it is okay for them to go and buy sanitary pads. The most important thing here is what I feel is needed is when the branding is done, right, of these sanitary pads, it should be gender neutral. Some companies should really, put a transgender face to it, or, in their advertisement, they should really be inclusive, right? They should have people of different spectrum coming all together and buying sanitary pads, and it should make them feel comfortable that okay, sanitary pads are not only bought by cis women, it is bought by people of different spectrum of the sex, gender, and sexuality. So it's important for people to understand. So awareness is very important. Here the brand can, label themselves as, gender neutral brand. So it will be very, very, very easy for people to go out in medical stores and buy sanitary pads, which is, so important to have hygiene, and it is so important to have personal hygiene. It is a part of, monthly cycle. So let's pledge together and ensure that, nobody should feel alienated from, who they are.
Sir, as we're already talking about gender, so I have another question related to gender for you. A lot of transgender women undergo hormonal therapy, and as a side effect, they experience symptoms similar to those of premenstrual syndrome, which is also known as PMS or premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So, do you know about this? Have you ever heard about it? If yes, can you please shed some light on this? And also, could you please provide some tips on how to track them?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you talk about premenstrual syndrome, right, it is not very easy to handle. So are when we talk about hormonal changes, right? Um, we as a society has to understand and really be more sensitive towards the transformation journey of a trans woman, right? We need to make sure that they feel comfortable and they feel supportive throughout their journey. Most of the behavioral symptoms that you can easily see, right? It would be sadness, hopelessness, irritation, and anger. And when it comes to physical symptoms, right, these women goes through bloating and breast tenderness. If you find any of these symptoms in a person who is actually undergoing through a transformation, I urge you to please be supportive and help them out, right? I would urge you to please help them to seek help. That's all I would expect from the society.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, sir. So, lastly, I want to ask that what are the changes that have taken place from the upcoming generation in terms of menstruation?
So, the kind of changes that I expect from the upcoming generation is basically talking about menstrual health very openly. I do not expect them to, keep these discussions in closet. We are currently, running in 21st century, and certain things needs to be discussed openly. I also feel that education system, right, plays a very, very dominant role when it comes to, awareness. So I think so when education system will also be, a part of this awareness creation, then, talking about menstrual health will also be much easier. I also believe that government support is also very critical. I still remember in 2018 when GST on sanitary pad was 12%, and there was a lot of debate and lawsuit and everything that was going around, where people wanted zero GST on sanitary pad because it is a matter of hygiene. And then the GST on sanitary pad became zero, and I really appreciate the support of the government. I also expect the government to actually provide free sanitary pads to people who are underprivileged, the way government takes care of rationing, because there are certain people in the part of the country who still struggle to make food, right? So for them, sanitary pads would be luxuries. So I personally feel that government should be taking the responsibility of providing sanitary pads as free. Aruna Challam, who is fondly known as Padman in India, who is considered to be one of the male allies and created the most affordable sanitary pads in India, should come out as male allies and support women in this cause, should create awareness in the society about menstrual health, should speak about menstrual health. In the next coming decade, right, I personally feel that talking about menstrual health will become more easier, and I feel family talking on menstrual health during the dining table, colleagues talking about menstrual health at offices, or even students in colleges would become a little easier than what it has been so far. So this is what I expect from the new upcoming generation, and this upcoming generation should also be one of the supportive pillars, not only for cis women when it comes to menstrual health. This upcoming generation should also support the people who consider themselves as transgender, people who are non-binary, people who go hormonal changes. So all the people who basically needs support when it comes to menstrual health. I look forward to your support, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation with me. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate Nemat for all your support and the entire team for considering me as a part of this discussion.
Lastly, I would like to conclude this session by thanking Mr. Qasim for his time and efforts. It was a great session, sir. We look forward for more associations with you in the future. Thank you.